Hello.
Hi, $4.
Thank you.
Hi. Do you need a receipt?
No, I don't. Thank you.
You guys have a good day.
You too.
For this week's show, I was north of the bridge, hoping to capture a couple of stories while in the UP. Starting out about as far north as you can get, in the Keweenaw Peninsula. Well, it's early July up here at Copper Harbor right now. Actually, Copper Harbor right in the background behind me. Kind of bouncing around the UP today. We were supposed to go out to Standard Rock, which is one of my favorite places in the entire state, but it's extremely weather dependent. It's a reef system way out in the middle of Lake Superior, and you really want to make sure you have good weather to make the run all the way out there. So today we had northeast winds, just wasn't going to happen. Tomorrow looks a little dicey if we'll be able to make the run out there then. We might be able to try to get out Thursday, kind of waiting to see on the weather. So otherwise we're going to look at some near shore options while we're up here, but today kind of turned into just a travel day. So we cruised up here to Copper Harbor, kind of a unique spot here in Michigan to check this out, and hopefully get back on the water tomorrow, but in the meantime, just enjoying some time in the UP. The northeast winds never did let up, so the next morning we decided to make a near shore trip right along the Keweenaw with Captain John Littlefield. Joining us on the boat today was good friend of the show, Brad Dupuis, and my younger brother Kevin, who was fishing Lake Superior for the very first time.
Yeah, we're headed out of Lac La Belle, doing some fishing on Lake Superior for mostly lake trout, but hopefully we'll get a silver bite or two. We get a mix of cohos, kings, occasionally a steelhead or a splake or even a brown, so hopefully we'll get some variety today.
John has a lot of experience fishing in this part of the state and was able to tell me a little bit more about the region and about the different subspecies of lake trout that inhabit these waters.
Well, we're in the Keweenaw Peninsula, fishing Bay de Gris. It's the south side of the Keweenaw. The name of the game for much of Lake Superior, here included, is lake trout fishing. There's at least 3, some people say there's 4 different strains of lake trout. And here we usually encounter the lean strain and the Qwest strain, or the fat strain they call them. And they all inhabit their own niche. The deeper water fish tend to be Qwest, generally 150 feet and deeper. And then the shallower nearshore waters, you tend to encounter the lean strain. We attempted to do a Standard Rock trip, just the weather didn't allow it. We just kind of been watching the weather for the last few days leading up to it, and we just couldn't get a calm enough wind to do it. But the good part about the Keweenaw is, regardless of the wind direction, you can usually jump around and find a place to get out and at least get in some fishing. Even though it's not the offshore experience we were hoping for, we're still having a good time.
All right. Feels like a decent Lake Superior laker here. Can't beat the backdrop, Jordan.
Quite a little wind and a little weather here, but
It's a little choppy. Got a few fish going with a backdrop that is, I'd say, almost second to none. Nice Lake Superior laker. Not a huge one, but a nice average fish out here. A little luck, we'll get a silver bite. Still working on that. But glad to have this one in the boat. I had the enjoyment of taking the day, driving up, towing the boat, crossing the Mackinac Bridge, getting up in the UP, the Upper Peninsula, going down to up through the Seney area. It's just a very scenic route. You get up along the lake, the north side of Lake Michigan along 2, which is very beautiful. Cross the UP, get up on the Lake Superior side. Just a lot of really cool scenery and really neat area. Up here on the Keweenaw, there seems to be a lot of history of mining and copper and things like that, and you see a lot of things that remind me of aged infrastructure and ruins of areas where copper mining was so prevalent. So there's just a lot of really cool places to visit and and a lot of scenes to take in and to really enjoy. So it's been a very good experience for me. I haven't spent really any time up here in the Keweenaw Peninsula, so I encourage anybody to do so and take the time to give yourself a little extra time to take it all in. Absolutely awesome experience. How about that? Double.
What happened there?
Just the old classic 2-for-1 here on Lake Superior. So far so good. Battling a little bit of seasickness. Not used to kind of being out on a big boat like this, but it's been a lot of fun and it's really beautiful out here.
Sometimes it's easy to take the Great Lakes for granted, especially if you fish them often. But even on days with rough water and mostly small lake trout, we're still fortunate to have these lakes so close to home.
First time up here in the Keweenaw Peninsula, it's been outstanding. It really has. All of the views, you know, as the other guys have mentioned, have just been really, really beautiful. So seeing it from this vantage point has been awesome today out here on the big lake, and kind of getting a good view of Copper Harbor and the rest of the peninsula. And yeah, it's just been an awesome experience up here. I love it up here in the UP, and this corner of it is truly exceptional. So happy to be out here.
After 4 or 5 hours on some pretty rough water, with a live well full of fish, we decided to pull lines and head back in. As we did, John compared this trip to what a normal trip looks like in this part of the state.
There's better days, there's worse days. We did pretty well. I'd say that's average, and that lake trout definitely makes up the large percentage of the catch. You know, we have had a stretch of inconsistent weather here, which hasn't helped the silverfish. But usually you're fishing for maybe 1 or 2 silverfish bites per trip. So, yeah, more or less average. The Great Lakes, they're broken down into different management units. Here on this particular part of the lake, the limit's 5 apiece, 15-inch minimum. I think you're allowed 1 over 34 inches or something, but that wasn't an issue today. Yeah, great eating fish though.
It was great to be on Lake Superior. It's good to be off the lake. It was a little rough out there today. I'm sitting, relaxing, chilling, enjoying the scenery. That's one thing that's so awesome about the Keweenaw and being out here. The scenery and the view is just beautiful. So I'm sitting back, enjoying it, and relaxing.
All in all, it was a great day on the water and one of my favorite places in the entire state. Special thanks to Brad and John for inviting us out.